Thank you very much for the invitation. I will have to be very fast because in 10 minutes it's difficult to look at all the problems that we face in Mexico. I will try to summarize them.
View.
Sorry. First of all, it's very important to understand that the actual Mexican violence related to organized crime is not anymore a matter of public security or this institution, the police, the prosecution, the judges. It's a lot more complicated than that, and it's not linked only to drugs, but at least to 27 other types of crime, including trafficking in persons, trafficking in migrants, stolen property, piracy of goods, and many other crimes linked to organized crime. And the problem in Mexico is mainly a matter of political model and consensus. We always stress that violence and organized crime in Mexico is not an illness, it is a symptom of a more strong sickness, that is the sickness of the Mexican state. One of the key elements to understand what was happening in Mexico because of its weakness is the link between organized crime, public corruption, and politicians, and the connection between organized crime and political campaigns. Because, as you know, political campaigns are a very important element in which the organized criminals can get influence and get involved in the government. And there is a trend that we can always look at in Mexico in which the organized criminal has paid for the political campaigns. As you know, democracy is an interrelated mechanism to translate social preference into public policies. And it's a regime based on elections and political campaigns. There was a big discussion in Mexico relating if it needs to be public financing, private financing, or mixed financing. And obviously, in the case of organized crime, the worst part is the kind of exchange that we have seen in Mexico, an exchange in which the organized crime is paying political campaigns, and the result is that the organized criminals were able to name the chief responsibles of police in each one of the municipalities and states. Not in each one, but in many municipalities and states. So, obviously, one of the most difficult problems in Mexico is political campaigns. There are some that states that the Mexican political campaigns of 2006, the presidential one, they were so expensive as to cost to each one of the three main participants almost $400 million. So the money was coming from financing of the state, certainly, but also coming from businessmen, and then also from, in certain cases, organized crime. And that's part of the Mexican problem. If we are not able to solve the financing of political campaigns, we will not be able to solve the problem of public safety and police. Let me tell you that one of the most important parts is that Mexican laws are not really so bad. We always distinguish between law in action and law in the books. Law in the books in Mexico, it can be perfect. If you compare, for instance, with Palermo Convention to fight organized crime, you will see that we have about 85% of the clauses already implemented in law. But when you see what are the strategies that follow after those laws, that is the real problem, because it falls to maybe 40 or 45% in the law in action. And if you look at the Corruption Convention, the Merida Convention, the situation is worse because we have only implemented about 45 or 50% of the clauses, and we are applying in Mexico about 25% of those clauses. Let me tell you that there is